A report came out that the Philadelphia Phillies are looking to trade Zack Wheeler, who they just signed last year to a 5-year, $118 million deal. In this video, I'm going to talk about the rumor that the Phillies are open to trading Zack Wheeler. And could the Mets pull off a trade for Zack Wheeler again? Because don't forget, they traded for Wheeler originally when they gave up Carlos Beltran. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment. What kind of package would you be looking to offer the Philadelphia Phillies? And do you think the Mets should trade for Zack Wheeler? And as always, make sure to subscribe. Really close to 400 subscribers. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and let's get right into the video. The Philadelphia Phillies have made it public, and they've been vocal about it, that they have lost a lot of money because of the pandemic. So far, we have the reports that they're probably not going to re-sign JT Realmuto, which means that my free agency prediction will probably be wrong. I think Realmuto is probably going to end up with the Blue Jays now. But now they're saying they're willing to trade Wheeler after they made the big contract for Bryce Harper, got Realmuto, got Wheeler. You think the Phillies are really trying to, be a team that's competitive, be a team that's aggressive, and try to be a playoff team, which some of the Phillies haven't done in a little bit now. So it definitely has been frustrating for them, but this only makes it harder, no doubt about it. So I think that the kind of trade package you would need is you can't be giving up too much salary the other way. So I think that some of the guys I would consider trading, obviously I meant Rosario's up there, but I think we have to look at what the Phillies need right now. And the Phillies actually have a lot of needs. If you're getting rid of Zack Wheeler, okay, you definitely need starting rotation. The Phillies bullpen was very bad last year. As of right now, it looks like you're not retaining JT Realmuto, so catcher is a position of need. Phillies need a second baseman. In my opinion, Phillies need a center fielder. So there definitely is a lot of needs on that Philadelphia team, so you could approach it in many different ways. The problem is that the Mets have weaknesses in those areas as well. Like the Mets, the reason why they would want to trade for is because the Mets still need starting pitching. The Mets obviously need a catcher. That's why it looks like they may get James McCann. Mets need a center fielder. That's why they're very aggressive on George Springer. I mean, second base Mets are good right now with Jeff McNeil, but otherwise the Mets need bullpen. That's why they got Trevor May. So the Mets have a lot of the same weaknesses, so they can't really they don't have a surplus at any of those spots where they could give it to the Phillies, help them fill their need. Maybe would you trade Jimenez so the Phillies could sign him to second base? I don't like that trade too much either. I definitely think that Bauer is still my first option only because I'm not giving up talent. Like, you're going to have to give up young talent in this kind of trade. Do you put Matthew Allen in the deal? That's another one. It's like very risky. We don't know what Allen could be. He could turn out to be a really good pitcher. That definitely is a tough one. And he's a lot younger, so you can have Matthew Allen for a long time. That's why when they trade Beltran, as a huge Beltran fan, I was upset when it happened. But I understood in the long term how long Wheeler was with the Mets. It could have been longer had they re-signed him. I bet if this was different ownership, the Mets would retain him. Sandy also has made it clear that he wants to build on his young core and he wants to, give his guys a chance to develop and really keep their guys. And technically, Zack Wheeler is a Sandy Alderson guy, but in return, you would have to give up some of your young guys. But then you can make the case, if you trade Matthew Allen, it's Brody's guy, you definitely could make that case. I'm just not sure if the Mets would really want to go all in on this particular trade. I like this trade better than the rumored, Sonny Gray for Rosario trade that Joel Sherman put out there in the New York Post. I don't really like that one too much because we know Sonny Gray has had his struggles in New York. Wheeler, we know he can perform as a Met. And in fact, I think this is a very interesting point to bring up. But Wheeler, in the second half of 2018, had a very Trevor Bauer-like 2020 season where Wheeler finished the second half with a 1.68 ERA as a Met. Straight up dominant, lights out, as good as DeGrom. Start after start after start after start the entire second half. So Wheeler showed us what he could be, and if that was a 60-game season, Wheeler could have won the Cy Young. You know what I mean? So he could be as good as Trevor Bauer sometimes because Bauer has inconsistencies in his career, and obviously so has Wheeler. Because the very following year, 2019, Wheeler was still pretty good, but it wasn't that level. And I think that we took Wheeler for granted, because the thing is that since we had DeGrom, since we have Syndergaard, and one time we had Harvey, we're like, hey, how good is Wheeler really? But when you see that year after year, he had an ERA in the threes, that's really good, especially if you're asking a guy to be a number 3, number 4 pitcher. I mean, that is exactly what you need, exactly what you want. We still haven't seen Wheeler in a playoff scenario. I feel like he probably could get the job done. So he definitely is a guy that I would like to bring back. But I just don't know what kind of package the Phillies want and how much they want to give up. Because personally, I don't want to give up Pete Crow Armstrong because that could be my future in center field. I don't want to give up Francisco Alvarez because that could be my future at catcher. Matthew Allen, I mean, he has a lot of upside as a good starting pitcher that the Mets definitely could use in the future. So other than that, like, who else is it? Rosario, Mauricio, some of the other pitching prospects, maybe. But Sandy said he doesn't want to give up too much of the farm system. So that definitely would make it tough. Do you want to throw in J.D. Davis? Okay, maybe if we really feel like that we cannot get Lindor, maybe we could put him in that deal. But I think if you're the Phillies, you don't want to trade with the Mets. You don't want to give him up to your division rival where you're going to have to see him a bunch of times again. I mean, that's probably why the Phillies signed Wheeler originally, because they were tired of getting dominated by him. You're like, we need to get this guy because the Mets keep using him and he's really good. So that's why they got him. But I think it makes more sense for them to make a trade to a team like the Blue Jays or maybe the Red Sox or the Angels, because those are teams that could use starting pitching. Those are teams that probably could take on the salary cap number that the Phillies want to get rid of. But I think for the Phillies going forward, if you do pull off this trade for Zack Wheeler, and let's say it's to the Blue Jays or whoever, and you get like prospects back, that would be pretty tough, because now that means that you have Bryce Harper and you have a bunch of weaknesses. Like I said, you got center field, starting pitcher, catcher, second base, and you don't want to spend the money to really, fill in those spots. You're going to be wasting the Bryce Harper contract. You sign Bryce Harper to that crazy of a contract with the expectation that you're going to be a winning team. That's the only reason why you would pay that much money for one player, because you feel like you're going to win. And if you're not going to win, why would you still continue to pay that player so much? I think that if things continue to trend in this direction, I think Bryce Harper could get traded. Similar to how the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts and the Dodgers were able to get him. I mean, could the Phillies consider something like that? I mean, we already know the Rockies are kind of looking at that with someone like Nolan Arenado, who has a big contract. So I think it's definitely something interesting to follow. And you know what? It looks like that's one less team that the Mets have to worry about in the National League East. And that would definitely make the Mets schedule a little easier, because we know we have to worry about the Braves. I still feel like the Nationals are going to do something. I don't know exactly what, but I do think the Nationals are going to do something, because they won the World Series in 2019 and had such a down year. Like, I feel like you want to build off that. Wheeler is someone I would like to get back. It will be hard to do, and I don't think the Mets would be the Phillies' first choice of who to trade with. But let's hope for the best, and let's see what the Mets do. Until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and let's go Mets.